Yes.
So
you're never too old to rock and roll.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, everyone was so excited to see you today.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. Congratulations on your brand new album.
Thank you. It's fun to talk about it.
Yes, tell me about this album.
Well, it only took 3.5 years to make.
Ooh.
And actually, it did take 3.5 years, but we didn't work on it continually. And it's just full of collaborations with people that I've loved since I was little, and that through the years I've gotten to know. And then I've also got quite a few young people on it that are just totally inspirations to me and that I know as well through working, and it's just a celebration of just total gratitude for all the people that have inspired me.
I think that's so important because you've done it all. I mean, 9-time Grammy Award winner over here.
You've really done it all. Grammys. No.
Where do you keep them, by the way? Like, where do they go?
I actually have them I have a music room where our piano is. The kids take piano in there, and I've got a couple of guitars, and then they're up on the shelf. Yeah, and my management has one, and my mom and dad have one.
I love this. It's
Yes,
so sweet.
it is.
And you come from a musical family, right?
I
Your mom
do.
played the piano.
Yeah,
And
still
your dad
does.
Still does.
Yes, and they both are still very musical. My dad is 87 and plays in a rock band at BB King's in Memphis.
I'm obsessed right now.
And my mom is an unbelievable singer, and her voice is still just crazy. It's so great. Very operatic, so yeah.
And your dad played the trumpet, was that right?
Yes, and he in his band plays guitar, so.
This is so amazing.
Yes.
So you're
never too old to rock and roll.
Yes.
Okay?
So do you feel like, for a lot of times musicians, they don't get the support from their family to pursue their dreams, right? But for you, I feel like they were okay with this, right? Or
they were, but they always said, get something to fall back on. Right. You know, that's always like, we believe in you, but we sort of kind of don't. No, that's not true. But it's more like, you know.
It's the industry they don't trust.
Exactly. So I got my degree in elementary music. Actually, I got my degree in classical piano with a secondary in music education, and I taught in the St. Louis school system. I taught elementary music, and then I moved to LA and just took my tapes around and tried to get work. And
that is so sweet. How was it teaching music?
I loved it. I mean, I was 21, so I was really young, but I loved it. I loved the kids. That's a really sweet age. Right. You know, up until about 5th grade. 5th grade's when they discover the comb. Yeah. and the opposite sex. And,
right.
You know, so and it all goes down from that. But
do they know you're this huge superstar? And I know you probably don't look at yourself like that. I get it, because you're so nice and humble.
Every kid wants their mom to be normal,
right,
and young and cool and cute and fun and all that stuff. So I would say I qualified maybe one of those territories, the fun one.
You're all the above.
Not so much. Cool, not so much. But actually, I think they're thinking that what I do is pretty cool now, because they understand it better. They've been in the studio and they see that it's actually not just mom walking out on stage wearing clothes she doesn't wear normally at home and makeup and playing in the adoring audience. They actually now see that lots of work goes into making records and a lot of practicing, and so they understand that it's work, and I think they like it now. You know, they bring me guitars out on stage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they walk away kind of slow and look at the audience like, you know,
yes.
like, I'm up here.
Yeah.
So,
So are they fans of anyone and they just ask you about it? Like, Mom, do you know so-and-so?
Yes. I mean, they...
And you're like, do you know who I am?
I know. I'm like, wait, you mean...
You know how many Grammys
you just Post Malone knows Sheryl Crow is what you're asking, okay?
Yes.
They're like all their friends. All their friends are into like Nas X.
Right, yeah.
And Lil Nas X. I'm sorry I said that wrong, kids. And then, of course, Post Malone and Chainsmokers and Ariana Grande. And I mean, Shawn Mendes. We went and saw Shawn Mendes the other night. It was their first concert that wasn't me.
Oh my gosh.
They were really trying to be so cool. The whole place was filled with young girls and boys, and they're kind of like looking around like, okay, this is not my mom.
This is so great.
It's fun. I mean, it's great. I love being their mom. So,
how did you stay so strong through everything that you experienced? I was reading up about, and I don't know too much about it, but it's non-invasive form of breast cancer.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can explain a little bit more about that.
Non-invasive is like early stage. So it wasn't in my lymph nodes yet, which was
yes.
knock on fake wood.
Yes,
like the best
absolutely.
kind of cancer to have, because if it's discovered early, it's curable. And in my case, I am cured. I'm 13 years out. And yes.
Thank you. Yes.
And we don't have a cure yet. So make sure and be diligent about using the height of technology, like the 3D mammography machine, to make sure that you're clear of cancer, and just stay on top of it, because early detection is our best weapon. But yeah, I powered through it the way that I think most women do. I mean, women are just internally strong. I mean, we should be in the leadership roles. It's crazy that we're having to claw our way still to those places, because women are, I think, just innately built to look at things head on and say, I'm going to figure out a way to defeat this. Right. And while I'm doing it, I'm also going to do all the other things that need to be done. And that's what you do. And you pull from your strength and from your internal peace, and you rely on the people that are your true friends and family, and you come out of it forever changed and grateful.
And I was reading that you opened up an imaging center. Mm-hmm. Why was that important to you?
Well, I was sort of at a moment when I was diagnosed of debating whether I was going to be public about it or not be public about it. And I held on to being quiet until I felt like, okay, now this feels like an opportunity. And the opportunity for me was that I have an incredible female fan base. Yes. Of moms and daughters, and to be able to say to them, know the terrain of your breast, be diligent, stay on top of technology. And so we opened the first in California, the first digital imaging clinic. And since then, obviously, technology is even more advanced, but it's great to be associated with pushing humanity forward,
That's so important. And you use your platform for a greater cause, which...
I used my breast for a greater cause.
I just love the energy that you have. It's nice.
You have to have a sense of humor, about these things. It's not really fun to talk about cancer.
Right, no, it's...
But it's good to have a sense of humor when you're on the other side of it.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
I'm always interested in this, but what made you decide to adopt your kids?
I came out of that transitional moment of having my life seemingly be upended at a moment when I was also diagnosed. And I came out of it thinking, we get really, I think, boxed into what it is our mind tells us that our lives are supposed to look like. Like, I was raised in a close family. My parents have been married forever. They love each other. We're all very close. And so you get married, you have babies, you have a great life. And if that's the way you think life is supposed to look, it's very limiting.
Right.
And there are beautiful and amazing babies coming in every day. Right. And I knew I wanted to be a mom. And so I just kind of opened my arms and said, Lord, if you want me to be a mom, then I'll roll my boat halfway out. And if you row yours out halfway and meet me, then great. And if it doesn't work out, I'm great with that too. Right. So I did the legwork. I filled out all the paperwork, and the next thing I knew, I had Wyatt Stephen Crow in my arms. So there's lots of different ways to have family. I tell my kids this all the time. Families look so different. Right. And what you tell yourself about what you want your life to look like can be limited by the things you know. Oh, yes. And sometimes you have to just say, okay, I'm going to align myself with infinite possibility. That's the greatness that my tiny little pea brain can't even imagine, because there's so much more to life that you could have if you weren't telling yourself what it is that would make you happy. Like, if I had a lot of money, I know I'd be happy. Maybe you wouldn't. If I had a giant $3 million apartment. Right. Maybe I'd be happy. Maybe you wouldn't. Right. So I like the idea of infinite possibility.
I love that. Not saying that money is everything, or it's not. I'm just saying you no longer are holding on to materials to validate your happiness or your success. Right. But just whatever makes you happy in life.
Yeah.
Truly happy.
Yeah.
And frees you from worry, anxiety, and just don't tell yourself you can't do it.
Right.
But that's really hard, especially
hard
now
to be
with social.
open.
Yeah, and social media. You're constantly
Don't
being
get me started
told
on that.
not to love yourself. You're constantly told things you shouldn't be doing, or what's wrong with you, or you need more likes. I get worried.
I feel like as a mom,
Yes.
the best gift I can give my kids is to protect their innocence. And I'm constantly, like right now, my 12-year-old is like, my friends have TikTok, my friends have Instagram. And I just lightheartedly say, yeah, but you know what? Nobody's telling you that you're amazing.
Right.
Because you already know it.
Yes.
And you're exactly like God made you.
Right.
And you don't need other people to tell you if they like you or they don't like
Right.
you. So let's just be tapped into how awesome you are the way you are.
Currently,
know?
in this moment.
It's
you
a
and me.
hard argument, you
It
know?
is, right.
It's really hard. There's a lot of pressure with kids. They want that. They want what everybody else has, and they want to project pictures and things like that. So I'm just going to,
Yeah, when do
stay
they
my
get
kids
social
off.
media, if ever?
Well, he didn't get a phone until he was 12, and I had said it was going to be 13, but 12 has worked out okay. And truth be told, most of the time he can't figure out where his phone is.
Yeah.
So he's that kid, which I love. So we don't have to deal with it too much. I would like to see social media be held off until he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
But
I like this plan.
I don't think I'm going to have a say
Right.
when he's 40, but it's kind of like the snake argument. We have a snake argument every week in our house.
Right.
Why can't we get a snake? And I keep saying, you are welcome to get a snake when you're living in your own house.
Right.
But, so, I don't know. I mean, I think, maybe sophomore in high school, even though the frontal lobe still isn't formed on
Right.
boys, and the mistakes are so profoundly stupid that
Right.
they make on these things. So
I'm so glad I wasn't a teenager growing up with
I know.
Instagram. I had
agree.
MySpace, but whew,
Yeah.
I feel like, I got through that.
I totally agree. And I would love to have 30 million followers
Right.
so that when I put a record out, 30 million people knew about it. But the thought of actually having my kids remember me like this
Right.
makes me sick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember my mom attached to the phone that was attached to the wall, you
Right.
know? So I'm just hoping that I can model to them that how I feel about myself has nothing to do with how anybody else sees me, So that's the lesson.
Well, I think you're the coolest.
Thank
and I
you.
appreciate you for taking time to be here with us today.
Thank you.
And I'm sure your kids can't wait to see you tomorrow.
I know, I
And
can't
complain
wait.
about homework.
I know, they're like, but Mom, why can't we this and why can't we that?
Go to school.
I know.
But thank you
Yes.
so much for being here
Thanks
today.
for having
Congratulations on another great album.
Thank you. Of
course.
Great to be with you.
Thank
You're
you.
precious.
Oh, thank you.
And gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Love that amazing interview. And I want to hear from you. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Talk Stoop channel so that you never miss out on the latest celebrity interviews.